What's up, everybody? How you doing? Oh, so I'm a little under the weather right now, so nice, nice hot tea right here. For those of you who do not know, my name is Adam S. Copperhead's GM, League Dad, all-around general purveyor of weirdness and dad humor, and it's time to pay the tax. Come on over. Come here. Oh, it's the Daisy tax. Who's the best co-host of any podcast in the NSFL? You. That's right. Mwah. The wife just stepped out. She actually ran out when she heard I was going to do a video. She does not like being on camera. I don't have a ton of time today. A lot of stuff happened this week. Obviously, it's not my normal Wednesday spot right now. I had to go do some stuff for my daughter's school and do a couple of events for Halloween and also for like a monthly fitness thing where we get out, we run with the kids and adults, the parents come in and help, which I love. I love that her school was like super encouraging of parents being interactive. I gotta work today, there's nothing in this, I swear. Oh, this natural light is actually really great right now. Man. I don't always get the best natural light over here, but you can really see the paintings really well. Yeah, including my favorite. Where to go? This one right here. Owls in the Moonlight. Love that painting. So anyway, let me jump right ahead to some questions real quick and just see what's going on in the league. Throw this in the Copperhead's Discord. Random questions. But we've got our biggest double sim coming up today in a couple hours because it's Friday. Ooh, I burped a little bit. Chicken and dumpling burp right there. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. Okay, sorry. None of you guys know that band. You don't even know. Now it's stuck in my head. Okay. So, Vidcast questions. I'll go back to talking about what's going on today here in a minute. When are you coming to visit me? That's my question from TLK. Not in the fucking winter. But you know what? I think in the next couple of years, I definitely want to take my daughter and my wife to the East Coast because they've never been. And but I always tell people my plan for when I go back home to Jersey to visit is all my social media will say I'm in Seattle, so that none of my relatives know, and I can just but letting them see a lot of the East Coast and the North, and I mean my sister and brother-in-law and niece live in Boston, so we obviously want to get up there. So maybe. But in the meantime, let's keep it meeting up for our midnight excursions in Vegas. Vert Laser, how are your season predictions holding up so far? Pretty well. I think pretty well. I think about the only unexpected thing. There isn't really an unexpected thing. No, it's pretty much exactly where I thought it was going to be. New Orleans is a little ahead of schedule. That's pretty much where I'm at. Do you think the Liberty will be able to overcome their numerous close losses and squeak in to grab the final playoff spot in the NSFC? Yeah, that shit's a clusterfuck. That's a clusterfuck. Literally the entire NSFC is not out of the playoffs yet. Liberty's remaining schedule at Yellowknife, no. Home against San Jose, possibly. At us, no. So no. No, I don't think they will. Unless Chicago goes like Chicago and Colorado go completely undewinned. That's not a real word. Chicago at San Jose, home at New Orleans, home against New Orleans. You can't be home at New Orleans unless you are New Orleans, in which case you wouldn't be saying it anyway, because you wouldn't express yourself as the Pope. At Orange County, at San Jose, home against New Orleans. You know, in the real world, that'd be weird travel. Like, you start out in Chicago, you have to travel to Orange County, you come back, and then travel to San Jose, which, for those of you who really don't know your geography, is really only 3 or 4 hours north of Orange County. No, Liberty aren't going to do it. Sorry. It's not happening. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I can't. I can't. Look, I will try to help the Liberty, okay? As best I can these first couple of weeks by taking out Colorado. And I guess us beating Yellowknife wouldn't help them, but whatever. But no, I don't think Liberty make it. It's possible crazier shit has happened, but do you think the race will continue their reign of terror all the way to the end of the season? Yes, I did pick them this year, finally, to go win the Ultimates. For those of you who didn't pay as much attention, I've been one of those voices telling everybody the last couple of seasons the Wraiths are going to fuck off and they're going to lose in the playoffs. And I called it before this season started, but this was the season they were actually going to get it done. Big Red is a massive strategical upgrade over Davey as a GM. Even if you put aside all that other shit, that's just a simple statement of fact. I've worked with both of them, and I can say it very confidently. And that was the moment when it switched over to Big Red that I knew. There's a reason that I browbeat Davey into having Big Red replace me. When it was time for me to move on and go be the GM of the Copperheads. I say that, now to be fair to Davey, which is a thing I shouldn't do, he might have gotten to that answer himself. Well, I want to say like 50-50. But I bothered the fuck out of him until he did it. Just saying. Red is someone who I have very, very high regard for in terms of his ability to do things, get things done, win, run a team, stuff like that. So, yes, I think the Wraiths are your favorite to win. I think this is the year they finally do it. I mean, I know they had one way back 100 years ago, but this is the year they finally, live up to all the promise that's been there. Do you think the Wraiths will continue their rate of terror all the way to the end of the season? Oh, right, yeah, I just answered that. That was the third question. All right, well, thank you, Bert. We got to get a new, I'm sorry I didn't get you the other day for Cards Against Humanity. Just ended up having a lot of shit going on. Moody, who won the most and who lost the most after last week's trade tsunami? I don't know. I don't really think. I didn't see anything that made me go, oh, that changes everything. I don't know. I think in general this season, the team that's won the most on trades, it's probably Chicago. They've made a lot of moves in accordance with their plans, which I do now know a little bit more about than I did the last time I brought this up. I would say they've definitely put some effort into making these plans happen. So I don't know about that particular, like the trade deadline. I know there were a lot of discussions around trade deadline in general, so a lot of things could have happened, but didn't. And I'm just going to leave you with that tease. But overall this season, I want to say Chicago, which isn't quite your question, but I didn't feel like I had a satisfactory answer to your question, so I just added on to it. What is the most insane trade condition you have seen? The one with the Yeti and the Hawks, where it said that if the current GM of the Yeti at the time was a member of the Hawks the following season, the Yeti would get some sort of monetary bonus. That's the craziest. Yeah, because all the implications. All the Copperheads are put into a battle royal Hunger Games battle to the death scenario. Who would win and why? Me. I'm winning. Because you're all dead. I'm sorry. I'm going to be sneaky and brutal, and y'all are never going to see it coming. Even with me telling you. Outside of me, outside of me, I know you didn't even ask that, but outside of me, who would definitely win? It would definitely be me. Kane, maybe. He's got the medical training, so he'd have a little bit of an advantage. So I'd pick him over the crowd a little bit. Thank you for your, thank you for your questions. Why do I feel like that's going to end up being a topic of discussion in the locker room? I'm gonna reference it. See what happens now. I'm gonna post that right now. This is that wonderful professional dead air that I do. Boom. Okay, Moody, thank you for your question. Questions. Saba, who has more notoriety when it comes to trading, me or Toasty? I don't know if I've made a trade with you. Probably Toasty. Wait, all the copperheads. Wait, the immediate first answer, going back to that other question, the immediate first answer somebody had was their player. I answered it as our actual people rather than players. So I didn't expect this answer. Also, Dick might still win. He's a 350-pound dude with 300 speed, 100 strength, and all kinds of agility and intelligence. Who's more notoriety when it comes to trading? So I'm gonna go with Toasty for now. Toasty for now, especially since he's been kind of put into a situation where he's trying to rejigger some stuff, and so that makes for some more interesting trades. What NSFL's logo? What NSFL team's logo do you dislike the most? There are two. Sabercats and the Outlaws. And the reason is, and I know the excuses that are already coming from the people who already know what I'm going to say. They're not original logos. It's just that simple. Don't care if you got permission for them. Don't care if some team is defunct. They're not original logos. They're not original identities. They're not original brands. So they get the worst right away. Boom. Make that shit original. That's the difference between that and like a race. I talked last week about how, as much as people talk about, oh, change Yellowknife, it's not realistic. It's so established as its own thing with its own identity that you don't change it. Something like an Outlaws or Sabercats, where these are literally real world things that could actually have real world implications in the long run. That's not something you keep. Like, I get that somebody could produce a look. Someone said it was okay. Yeah, but who's going to pay for the lawyer? Me? No. You? No. Are actual lawyers in the league? No, they got better shit to do. So, there's definitely and then I don't even know if the Sabercats are even that far down the line in terms of getting permission. But if anybody literally were to make any kind of stink about it, the league could shut down like that, and we wouldn't have the ability to actually get it reopened because we wouldn't have the ability to defend ourselves. So these things need to fucking change. Look at me. They need to fucking change. They need to. So those are the logos I dislike the most. Should I pick up Easton Cole for fantasy? The man leads the league in touchdowns. If you don't have him already and you need to ask, I don't know what to tell you, bro. If you had to rebrand the Copperheads, where would you go? What new team name? I'd go to Vegas if they forced me to leave Austin for whatever reason. A Vegas flight or something like that. I might do something different. I don't know. Yeah. Because I mean, I've gone into the story of how there were other possible names for the Austin squad, the insurgents, the revolution, the rebellion, the yellow jackets, stuff like that. Nice head, by the way. Thank you. TLK, when do you axe that scrub annoy? I'd like to ask him a question. Justice for Tidwell. I mean, Tidwell is our #1 receiver majority of the year, so. Thank you, TOK. All right, well, that ended that. Those were the questions. So, yes. So we get the big double sim today. Austin is in a position where we need to win one of our 2 games, which are a road game with Colorado and a home game with Yellowknife. Obviously, one assumes that the road game at Hollywood. I can't talk sometimes. The road game at Colorado seems like it's going to be easier to win, but you never know. And we did beat Yellowknife on the road last season, so I don't see why we couldn't beat them at home this season. With the sim, you just never know. But honestly, if we come away with 1 win, we're in very good shape in the playoffs. And if we don't come away with 1 win, we need New Orleans to lose all their games. We'll see. We'll see what happens. The Yellowknife should be interesting because you get the two best offenses in the league against each other. So Yellowknife and Austin are the 2 highest scoring offenses, which I know that if the watchability index was updated, that would the 2 best offenses with 2 essentially playoff teams would probably only rank us 8th out of 10 because Austin literally never gets any fucking credit on those rankings, even though we have some of the best games of the year. But, you know, so yeah, we really need to take one of those games today to keep our season moving in the direction that we wanted it to be. That loss on the road in San Jose really hurts in the long run, and more recent loss in Chicago on the road really hurt. In part because I tried something different strategically that game. And, I mean, you all have access to the sim files if you want them, if you have the game. You can go look and see what the GMs did for each game. You can go see what strategies we used and if we changed or not. I did something for that game that I thought, like, might be kind of a home run, and it was not. So, it is what it is. You make your mistakes and you move on and you try to win, and now we're in a position where we're 5-5, best record in league in team history, and 2 games I feel like gets us into the playoffs, which is exactly where we wanted to be this season. In preparation for next season, where I feel like we really break out. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say on that subject. It's my 2nd drinking container, by the way. You'll notice, by the way, last week's show, I didn't drink anything. Nobody noticed. I've got no salsa here, though. Other than that, we're getting down to the wire. One whole conference is like all fucking up in the air in terms of who's going to have the final 2 playoff spots. Obviously, Yellowknife is far and away got their shit handled. The ASFC, meanwhile, is also open. 4 out of 5 teams could end up in the playoffs. Orange County does not have a solidified hold on that top spot, so you can't be sure. They got the Butchers at home and New Orleans on the road today, and then Baltimore on the road. And those games could kind of, you never know. You never know there. So we'll see what happens there. We will see. Indeed. Other than that, I think I'm going to just keep this one a short one. and only 20 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty short. So I hope y'all are having a great week. Hope good stuff's happening for you. Ooh. Okay, I can't breathe, for the record, by the way. I've just got like, this is what it feels like the whole time. So I will see y'all on the other side. That sounded weirdly ominous. No, I will see you guys on the other side of this sim, and then we'll see where the league is at as we go into Monday's one single regular season sim. Are we really doing it that way? We really could have scheduled that better. We really need to clean up that schedule so that stuff like that doesn't happen. Because that's not... No. Because then we have 2 rounds of playoffs in the Ultimates, so we got... we could have scheduled this better. But let's focus on other things, like original brands for 2 of our teams. Y'all have a good one. For Daisy, who's napping, and for my tiny ghost fairy kitty cat from Halloween, who's at school, and for the 78 pounds of mucus in my head right now, I bid you adieu and invite you to go do some cowboy shit in your own lives.